Does your bathroom floor look like this? Have you ever traced the pattern with your foot or finger when you're bored? Well, those tiles may have more to them mathematically than you think. Tessellations.
What?
That's a big word, but what does it mean? Well, in simple terms, tessellations are simple or complex continual patterns, but not every pattern is a tessellation. In mathematical terms, a tessellation is a pattern made of one or more shapes meeting two criteria. First is that the shapes must fit together without any gaps. In this example, this is not a tessellation because there is a gap in this pattern. Second, that the shapes do not overlap in any way. In this example, this is not a tessellation because there is overlap in the shapes. See how the corner of one shape is touching the edge of the other? In tessellations, all corners have to meet. There are three main categories of tessellations. A regular tessellation is a pattern made by repetition of one regular polygon. There are only three shapes that can create regular tessellations: triangle, square, and hexagon. Something important to note is how mathematicians identify each tessellation. They are named based on the number of sides on each shape that meets at the vertex. In the triangle tessellation, each vertex touches 6 triangles, and each triangle has 3 sides. So, the tessellation is identified as 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. A square tessellation has 4 squares that meet at each vertex, so it's called 4, 4, 4, 4. Semi-regular tessellations are made of 2 or more regular polygons. One important identifier to a semi-regular tessellation is that the patterns at each vertex must be the same. There are 8 different types of semi-regular tessellations.
8.
This one is called 3, 3, 3, 3, 6 because each vertex has 4 triangles and a hexagon that meet. Here's a 3, 3, 3, 4, 4. Here is 3, 3, 4, 3, 4. This one is 3, 4, 6, 4. Good old 3, 6, 3, 6 is next. And here we've got 3, 12, 12. And this one is 4, 6, 12. Last but not least, we got 4, 8, 8. The last category of tessellation is called non-regular or demi-regular. There are different opinions on what can be included in this category. But in simple terms, any pattern that uses non-regular polygons or doesn't have the same pattern at each vertex is a non-regular tessellation. This would be an example of a non-regular tessellation. And this, and this, and that one. There was a famous artist by the name of M.C. Escher. No, not that kind of MC, but that bow tie is pretty dapper. We're talking about this guy. He used non-regular tessellations to create works of art. As you can see, Escher uses irregular shapes to create patterned art, using things like birds, lizards, and sometimes just random shapes. Now, you may be asking yourself, why do I care? Tessellations are something artists use and mathematicians like to argue about. There's a lot more depth to the study of tessellations and tiling in math, and it even becomes closely related to other areas of mathematics such as puzzles, map color theory, fractals, infinity, and higher dimensions. We didn't have time to get into all of it here, but it's definitely fascinating. But let's go back to your bathroom floor. Now you can tell if it is actually a tessellation or just a cool pattern. Here are a few other examples of real-world tessellations. Look at this picture closely. What is it? If you said honeycomb, you are correct. Now look closer. The honeycomb is a perfect example of what a tessellation looks like in nature. Now let's follow our little bee friends out to collect pollen. Oh look, our friend landed on a flower. Another perfect example of a tessellation. It isn't as geometrically perfect as a man-made pattern, but it is a repeating pattern. The same can be said about giraffes, snake scales, and pineapples. Even mud cracks can be considered tessellations. Tessellations show how intricate and detailed God's creation can be. Think of how boring the world would be without them. We would have plain giraffes and solid color floors. Think of all the beauty that tessellations add to the world. Pretty cool, huh? Hello everyone, my name's Jonah, and I'm going to be telling you all the things you need to know about tessellations. Are they patterns? Yes, but it's more complicated than that.